good evening and thanks for tuning in on your Saturday night for News 19 at 6. I'm Rachel Ripp. We're going to be starting tonight in the town of Lexington. Listen to this. As of late this morning, the town issued a stop work order to Ripple Fiber, a fiber internet company. The town says this comes after recent incidents where the company hit and damaged multiple Dominion Energy gas lines. Now, this isn't the first time we've reported on this company. You might remember back in February, May, and July of last year, we reported on residents complaining about damage to their yards and gas lines being hit. Well, we spoke with the Ripple Fiber CEO today, who says when services are hit, it could be accidental because of incorrect markings or workmanship, or an environmental issue like rocks blocking the path of drilling machines. With an infrastructure project of this size, hitting utilities is a common occurrence, unfortunately, and it's going to happen with an infrastructure project of this size. So I think this particular break was obviously very public because it blocked off the entrance to a neighborhood, late on a Friday, and people couldn't get back into their homes and things like that, which was very, very unfortunate. So yeah, we obviously apologize to the residents for the interruption, but at the end of the infrastructure project, it'll all be worth it for the high-speed internet that they get. Now, Ripple Fiber tells us they've already serviced over 10,000 homes in the region and have 1,000 homes left. The town of Lexington says they plan to meet with Ripple Fiber, Dominion Energy, and the Lexington County Fire Marshal's office to address the issue and determine next steps to prevent further disruptions.
We've seen a little bit of a warmer day today. We had a high of 54 this afternoon. We got a pretty cold start though at 20 degrees. So we did have another one of those cold mornings below our normal of 35. So we were about 15 degrees colder than normal. We are going to continue to see the upward trend in temperatures over the next couple of days. Tomorrow we will have that high of 57. So it is going to be quite the comfortable day. Winds staying pretty light tomorrow, but then tomorrow night it will be a little warmer, that low of 38. We're going to see a morning that's below or above freezing for once. We'll stay mostly cloudy tomorrow night, but rain is looking to return as we head into next week. So temperatures out there right now, we're in the 40s across the Midlands, 48 in Columbia, 49 in Lexington, 45 in Winsboro, 47 in Aiken, 47 in Sumter. So a little chilly out there. We have begun to cool down for the night. As far as what we're seeing, a few clouds out there, but we are staying dry tonight. We won't see any rain until Monday morning of next week, but temperatures are going to be on the upward trend. We'll see a slight cooler day on Monday, but that's probably due to the cloud cover and the rain we'll see blocking a lot of that sun. But look at next week, 62 on Tuesday, 68 on Wednesday. We'll actually be above normal for the first time in quite some time, especially with the winter weather we saw this past week. We're also tracking the chance for rainfall, so about a 60% chance of rain, and that will be during the morning on Monday, so not all day long. And we'll stay pretty dry throughout next week. Heading into the end of the week, into the weekend, we could see a little bit of some rain on Saturday, but not looking to be a washout. So for our Midlands forecast, a few clouds tonight, but staying pretty clear. We'll stay dry as well. Heading into the weekend, for the rest of the weekend on Sunday, we'll start out partly cloudy for the morning hours, but those clouds will clear out. We'll get a little bit of sunshine through the afternoon hours, and then we'll see clouds moving back in Sunday night, pretty late Sunday night, ahead of that rain early Monday morning. So we'll see the rain moving in. This is 3 a.m. By 4 a.m., 5 a.m., everyone's seeing rain. If you're stepping out the door by 7 or 8, you'll probably need your umbrella Monday morning, but then that's going to quickly move out. We'll still see some lingering showers around lunchtime, and then once we get into the afternoon, even that will clear out, but we'll still be dealing with some clouds, it looks like most of the day on Monday. And we are looking to see some warmer temperatures sticking around into the start of February, also a little bit rainier than normal. We have a chance of some more rain than we have been seeing. Mostly clear tonight. Temperatures in the 20s. Tomorrow will be in the 50s for those highs, upper 50s. And for the next 7 days, we are going to see that rain coming back on Monday, warm for the middle of next week, and we'll stay pretty seasonable through the end of the week. Rachel.
Well, tonight, deputies in Fairfield County are still in need of your help in searching for a wanted man who they say is dangerous. His name is Carl Gibson. You can see a picture of him here on your screen. Deputies say Gibson is wanted for attempted murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. This comes after investigators say he shot a man on Thursday at the 2600 block of Longtown Road in Ridgeway, leaving this man bleeding on the ground. Deputies tell us if you see Gibson, do not approach him, but call law enforcement immediately. Tonight, we're learning more details about a fire in Columbia. The Red Cross tells us several disaster-trained volunteers are helping a family who was left without a home last night. Authorities tell us this fire broke out at Crestview Avenue last night, with firefighters arriving on scene around 5:30. The Columbia Fire Department says the fire started in the kitchen and quickly spread into the attic, causing smoke to fill the entire house. Luckily, everyone made it out safely and there are no reported injuries. But tonight, the 3 people who were displaced by this fire are receiving financial assistance from the Red Cross for immediate needs like food, clothing, and shelter. Also tonight, FEMA is reminding South Carolinians there are only 3 days left to apply for federal disaster assistance. That deadline is on January 28th. That's on Tuesday. FEMA says even if you have insurance, if you were impacted by Hurricane Helene, you should register for that aid. The quickest way to apply is online at disasterassistance.gov. Some sad news tonight. The South Carolina Department of Public Health has announced the state has had its first pediatric flu-related death of the season. Health officials say this child lived here in the Midlands, but they did not specify the area or the child's age. The Department of Public Health says there has been widespread flu activity across the state with an increase in flu cases and hospitalizations. Right now, the CDC says that the best protection against the flu is the flu shot, and they recommend that anyone over 6 months old should get vaccinated. Other preventative methods include frequently washing your hands and staying away from people who you know are sick. Well, tonight the city of Newberry is asking community members for their input. The U.S. Forest Service and South Carolina Forestry Commission are providing the city with funding for the development of an urban forest master plan. The master plan intends to create a healthier community with cleaner air, shadier areas, and decreased energy use. City officials are meeting on Thursday at the Newberry County Library to discuss the plan, and residents are welcome to join to provide their input. There's also an online survey for those who can't make it to the meeting. Tonight, the South Carolina Confederate Relic Room and Military Museum held their annual Sword Fest. The festival is the museum's biggest event of the year, and it marks a celebration of history and combat. This year's Sword Fest featured a look at sword enthusiasts over time, from old knights to modern fencers. And visitors to the Sword Fest were able to watch live demonstrations and participate in interactive activities, as well as learning about the history behind it all.
Once a year, we get together enthusiasts of both historic and recreational swordplay. This all began because we wanted to get people who academically studied swords and looked at swords as military history and consulted the many great swords in our own museum's collection, together with people who physically used them and kept traditions alive.
And this year marks the 8th year that the museum has hosted the event. Also tonight, the Alphas of Columbia had a wreath-laying ceremony in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. The Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity says this is the 14th year they've commemorated the life and legacy of MLK, who was a member of the fraternity during his time at Boston University. News 19 spoke with the president of the Alpha Psi Lambda chapter of the fraternity about the importance of remembering King's mark on history.
Dr. King's dream still lives, and as a member of Alpha Phi Alpha and as his brothers, we want to do our part to make sure that the community and society knows that his dream still lives, and we want to do whatever we can to realize that dream.
And Campbell says that even though the wreath laying ceremony did not happen on MLK Day this year, there was still a great turnout. Heads up for drivers. Tonight, the SCDOT says they are temporarily closing part of Hardscrabble Road. The closure will start tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and will temporarily lift Monday at 6 a.m. before closing again at 7 p.m. on Monday. SCDOT has a detour in place. You can see that map right here on your screen. SCDOT says this closure is part of a road widening project in Richland County, and they say everything should be finished by Tuesday. Well, that is our time for now. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back in just a few hours for News 19 at 11.
The news doesn't end here. Download WLTX Plus for free on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.